Welcome to another edition of our podcast. So today we're going to talk to one of our SpecOps function. We've talked a little bit about the SpecOps function in our series before, and so I'm delighted today to introduce one of the team, Elliott. So Elliott, welcome. Tell me a little bit about yourself and the role that you're doing at SpecOps.
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me, Neil. It's great to be on the podcast. I'm Elliott. I'm part of the SpecOps team. I've been with BlakYaks for about 9 months now in the SpecOps role. I've been spending a lot of time, working with clients, providing ongoing service as part of that team.
Great, thanks. So Elliott, you've obviously been here 9 months, one of the newer members of the team, but obviously you've had a kind of a long trajectory in education to get here. So tell us a little bit about your kind of university life beforehand.
Yeah, sure. So before BlakYaks, I wasn't particularly involved in the IT industry. It was kind of a new shift for me. And before that, I was mainly focused on mathematics. So I spent 9 years at the University of Surrey doing almost entirely mathematics. So first my undergraduate degree, I did an integrated master's. For the first 5 years I was there. It was a 4-year course, but I also took a year to do some teaching. And then from there I decided that I wanted to keep going with mathematics and get a bit more immersed in that. And so I decided to engage in a 4-year PhD program, which I finished sort of just after I started at BlakYaks. So I had that a bit of overlap there. Just as I was getting to the end of my PhD program, decided that it was time to make a shift into a different career path. And I'm glad I did.
So that's obviously a pretty interesting trajectory in terms of kind of switch from maths, into IT. And I guess, what interested you in BlakYaks, when you first heard about us, I think you were introduced by one of our other SpecOps team, Billy. So, that was a really nice introduction. But what was it that made you decide to join us?
Yeah, so as you brought up, I was friends with someone who'd been working at BlakYaks for a little while in the SpecOps team. So I was hearing a lot about the wonderful things that were going on, about the work that was being done, and also about the sort of culture of the team and the sort of the collaboration, the communication, and all that was happening, which really drew me in. Ultimately, I was really looking to try and sort of break into a sort of DevOps style role, something that incorporated working on a lot of different types of tasks and technologies at once, something that wasn't just going to be sort of one-threaded, and, something that would allow me to sort of train up and sort of skill up for a career path for the future, essentially. And I really felt that BlakYaks, with the academy and everything that was going on there, would really support me in sort of making that transition into this industry.
Obviously, there's a big switch for you from maths into IT. Tell us a little bit about how your onboarding into BlakYaks went. Obviously you made that decision, starting at BlakYaks. What was life like at the beginning, before you kind of bedded in, I guess, into the team? What was your onboarding experience like?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that's great about BlakYaks is that although we have this sort of framework for the onboarding that really makes sure we tick all the boxes, I think the onboarding experience is very tailored to each sort of engineer that starts here. And so I think my onboarding experience maybe started actually a little bit slower than maybe some of the other engineers as I was building my confidence and sort of making that switch in. Definitely my first few weeks were very sort of study focused. But that really worked for me as, someone who's very comfortable sort of studying and sort of learning the theoretical knowledge. So it maybe took a little bit longer for me, maybe a few weeks longer than some of the others to start getting hands-on with clients. But I was supported through that as well, and I felt that when I did get hands-on with clients, I was a lot more confident because I'd been given that time to really sort of learn the fundamentals and start working on those certifications. So it was a lot of studying and a lot of mentorship. A lot that was imparted on me during those first sort of few months.
Yeah, I guess you kind of mentioned the mentorship. What does that look like in terms of how you're responding and how your kind of mentor works with you to bring you up to speed in terms of technical capability.
Yeah, so within SpecOps, obviously you get a lot of support from, more senior management level staff, but we also have, a really strong peer mentorship scheme. So you're constantly getting advice and tips from and support from someone who's gone through the experience you're going through, but has come out of it the other side and has, come out with so much knowledge from their previous mentor, essentially. And so, yeah, sort of all the work I was doing as I was starting to transition from, the theoretical studying into the hands-on, I was constantly supported by someone who'd gone through all those same experiences, had really had all the hands-on knowledge that they could then impart to me. So yeah, I was very, very supported by my mentor as I started the work. Yeah.
Great. And you've been here 9 months now, and obviously you've started to come through on the other side now. We're certainly seeing you mentoring others. How is that working for you in terms of bringing others into the organisation?
Yeah, it's a side of the business that I'm really passionate about. I really like, trying to help other people come up and help people the same way I was helped and supported. So yeah, I've definitely sort of been a mentor to at least one or two people, and I think we've gotten really good feedback out of how people are finding the mentorship and how it's helping them really gain confidence, I think, is the most important thing, and just feel like they're supported. They're not, working in isolation. They are part of a team, and we have all the structures in place to help them out whenever they get stuck on something.
That's great. I think, one of the things that we've spoken about as part of a previous podcast was that SpecOps, I think the roles have changed in terms of how we work now. I think probably before you joined, a lot of the work was really around the kind of the support side and supporting the customers and ticket maintenance and what have you. I think now what we're seeing is a move for SpecOps staff to start looking at things like small projects and getting involved with even the enterprise projects, to a certain degree, so that we can then know that we can transition solutions that we're delivering through professional services into SpecOps. I guess, what's your experience of that and getting involved in the wider team and how you kind of interact with the enterprise projects side of the business?
Yeah, I definitely have seen things change a lot, even in just the 9 months I've been here, in terms of the more sort of collaboration across the various sort of teams that we've got working in BlakYaks, and just getting involved in a sort of wider array of work than maybe I would have 9 months ago. I'm definitely involved in at least sort of one project with the enterprise projects team as well. So again, just providing that more sort of continuity essentially between teams as things are getting deployed and then they're going to get maintained. We want to have some consistency there to make sure that we've got all the knowledge and the experience we need to provide that support going forward. And so one of the best ways to do that is really just to get involved from day one. And of course now we're also seeing a lot of enterprise container platform work being done, so also getting involved in that as well, because those platforms are going to need to be maintained, so it makes sense to get involved with those as early as possible so we know how they function behind the scenes.
Yeah. You told us a little bit about, you're passionate about kind of mentoring others and getting people kind of involved. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. You've been here 9 months, obviously, and you're now getting involved in other things outside of just doing customer work, for example. You tell us a little about that, the kind of the side hustle, if you like, in terms of what you're doing outside of just kind of doing customer work.
So I would say like my role in SpecOps or in BlakYaks is becoming more diverse every day, which is something that I really like. I've got a number of things on the table at any one time. There's quite a few internal projects that I've been involved in, which we're hoping will help us provide more sort of analysis and more sort of reporting and data that we can use to improve the customer experience. Obviously we talk a lot about the mentoring. Even just being a kind of point of contact for one of our customers, that involves a lot of delegating work and managing people, on a sort of smaller technical scale, to make sure that we're sort of got capacity for everything that customer needs. And then, of course, obviously there's some projects on the go as well. There's learning a lot about Kubernetes at the moment to try and make sure that I'm skilled up to provide the support needed for those ECP platforms that we're delivering. So a lot of different things on the go at any one time, not just fielding the critical tickets, although there's always some of that.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And alongside of the new stuff that you're looking at, the Kubernetes we've mentioned, and we've mentioned on previous podcasts about the breadth of what SpecOps are now supporting. It's more than just kind of IaaS and VMs in the cloud. There's a lot of kind of PaaS services and serverless services that we're all getting used to. I guess one of the new technologies that's coming along, and it's just it's on everybody's lips, right? Everybody's talking about it, everybody's doing it, is AI, right? And as much as we've supplied an accelerator pack to provide customers with a platform for doing that, we're not the consultants that are going in and telling customers how they should kind of perform their AI. But obviously we're looking at it, and I'd kind of be interested in hearing your kind of view and feedback on how we're doing that within BlakYaks.
Yeah, so AI is definitely something that's on our minds in BlakYaks, and we're definitely thinking about the best ways that we can utilize AI specifically for the work that we're doing. We obviously want to make sure that we're using AI in a way that's tailored specifically to the tasks that we want to accomplish, and of course also doing it in a way that is secure and up to best practices, etc. So there's a lot of work going on kind of in the internal tooling to make sure that we've got AI tools available to us that are high performance, can accomplish the tasks that we need to accomplish, and can do it in a really secure manner. So there's a lot of work done on sort of internal models and things like this to make sure that we can get the best out of the resources that are coming out at the moment.
Great. And so you've come a long way in that 9 months, and there's a lot of things that you've been doing over that time. What is it that you're looking forward to in the future, maybe with BlakYaks? And
yeah, I think mainly just bigger and more sort of technical projects really is the thing that I'm quite interested in, and I think I'm going to get a lot of opportunities at BlakYaks to deal with, especially with the more consistent links we have now with the enterprise projects team. We're already working hard on one project with them to get that deployed and get that up and running. So yeah, just looking forward to more interesting projects, more technical challenges, and just working at a bit bigger scale, bit bigger picture.
I guess that pretty much wraps us up. So thank you, Elliott. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thank you too for watching the podcast. If anything does resonate here, if you want to get in touch and understand a bit more about how BlakYaks can support your environment, or even if you're interested in a career at BlakYaks, please do get in touch. Thank you.